We're not getting out of here alive, but neither is that thing. This is my review for the 1982 film The Thing, directed by John Carpenter. It's about a film, 12 men on an Antarctica research station. It was shot mostly around the area of Stewart, British Columbia, but set in Antarctica on a budget of $15 million, and actually just broke even. It didn't make a profit. And part of the reason for that, it was not well received initially. 2 weeks before it was released in the year '82, the movie E.T. came out, which obviously had a very different portrayal of an extraterrestrial. It portrayed it as much more friendly and just an entirely different kind of film. So it was just a rough time for it being released in part. But it was actually really devastating for John Carpenter. He was really disappointed by that, and yeah, but since then, it's actually developed a cult following, and now it has been reevaluated, and people really appreciate for it being a great movie, and often considered in the top 10 of horror thriller genre by a lot of critics. First off, two things the movie did really well, obviously, that need to be effective for this type of movie were the cinematography and the soundtrack. The soundtrack in thrillers and horror movies really just does set the tone. And Ennio Morricone, pronounced that wrong I'm sure, but he did a great job with the score. And it built a sense of dread and tension, but not so much. There are a couple of scenes where it was kind of at the forefront, but not so much that it was just overpowering the dialogue, which I thought was done really well. Kind of theme of the movie that I think audiences at the time felt was a bit too dark is it's kind of a nihilistic movie. It's definitely a bit of a downer. And there's a sense that the 12 guy, or at least McCready guy Kurt Russell plays, and the other guys I think can sense it too, is they're not gonna live. They're gonna do what they need to do to try and kill this thing to help the species of the human species survive, but they're not going to make it out of it, and they've come to terms with that. The special effects, fantastic. Great practical effects for a time being. I think it was absolutely groundbreaking, and I think kind of, we all know the scene from the Alien where the chest bursting alien comes through her chest, and it's very dramatic and, a frightening scene. This one had that with the chest opening up and like cutting off the doctor's arms, really well done. Actually, it was very well done, and a couple other scenes where like the head of the alien like detaches and all that, very cool, and had a sense of, the movie actually had a sense of humor too. It was obviously a serious movie, but it had a kind of the comic relief that was that would help propel a film like this along. So I'm really glad that it's gotten the appreciation that it deserves today, because I think it was very well done, and the actors and the crew and everyone really braved the elements, and really, I think, put forth a committed effort to make this a good movie, and I'm really glad that audience appreciate it, and that it's just gotten better and better with each passing year. It's stood the test of time and more, and people just appreciate it more and more every year, I think, which is great to see. So yeah, The Thing, great movie.